Welcome back, my awesome friends, to Blossom Your Creativity. It's collaboration time, and I'm participating in a closed collaboration called Dollar Tree Dollhouse Transformation Spring Edition. Our participants are Melissa Makes It DIY, Crafting in Mimi's World, Junker Nectar DIY, Simply Becky DIY, Creating It Myself, La Parsha, and Jackie Burns Creation. Go and check out the playlist. Started with a Dollar Tree dollhouse. I took off the windows, doors, and then we painted it with this yellow, ugly yellow, and then used white for the roof. And then once I got it in the house, I realized these clips were on there. Didn't like it. We removed it. However, you could see the paint coming through. So then I tried to figure out, how am I going to put these two pieces together? We used this Loctite. Wasn't really successful. Then I painted the doors on one side with these paint pins that I got from the Dollar Tree. And they don't really dry very well. And then I used this silver marker on the door. And then I realized, this wasn't going to work out. So I decided to go with a different route and use some permanent markers on the other side. And that dried really well, so I was fine with that. So my thought was that I was going to have a 3D look. I was going to have one look on one side and another on another side. I really didn't like the way that the yellow looked with the orange. It was just too harsh. And then I've got my roof here, and I didn't like that you can see it says made in China, blah, blah, blah. So I decided to change it up. And I got some little spackle and put it on there and covered it up so you couldn't see it any longer. So that worked out. And then I painted my door, and I decided I wanted to do a little wreath. And here's the moss I used. And then to hide that cracks on the side, I decided to make some little planters. So here it is. I'm going to paint them up later. And see that ugly yellow. So we dry brushed some white, and then I decided, let me put a Mackenzie Childs rug in there. And here's my roof all done with the painting techniques. I used the burnt umber and some white, and I just went back and forth and rubbed and until I got to the consistency that I liked, and it looks pretty good. I did the other side as well. It was a little darker, but it's okay. It's, it depends on the weather, how it, stains the roof tiles and all that. So I like it. I think it turned out pretty good. Look at the back side. It's really dark. Kind of looks like an animal or something looking at it from this perspective. So I thought it was pretty funny. But anyways, so it's different, but you're not going to see them both at the same time. And here's my little pots that I made out of the tops of a toothpaste, and so I painted it. I didn't like that you could see the ridges, so I decided to put some spackle on it, as you could see here. So it got the before and the after, and it definitely looks better with the spackle on it and the color. So then I've got starting to put all of my doors and windows back together, and of course the whitewash look is a lot better than that ugly yellow. And then when I was trying to put the two pieces together, I realized that it's not going to work. So I'm going to have to fill in that gap. So I just put the paint stick, not paint stick, but the craft stick, and then filled in the area with the gap stuff, whatever that's called. And then you just have to let it dry. And then I decided, hey, I need a little foundation. So I took those craft sticks again and I created a foundation underneath the house. I think I went a little overboard. So I had to trace it and make sure I got my edges cut out, and so it turned out pretty cute. And you could see my little wreath on the front door there. I didn't get a chance to show you how I did that. And then I decided I want some trees. So I took a Christmas tree and alright, so I see my board and I'm deciding that I want to do a little walkway to my house. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a walkway out of clay. So stay tuned to see how this turns out. Alright, so I've got my brick pathway. Isn't this cute? So once it dries, because it's just sitting here on the board right now, once it dries, then I'm going to go ahead and paint it, and hopefully it will look fabulous as I envision in my head. Sometimes what I envision in my head doesn't always come to life, but we can always hope. And then the other thought was lining up some of these flowers like on the walkway, so you can see where I'm going with that. So I think that would be cute. So we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. I've got to let it dry for a day or so, and then I can paint, and then I'll see if these flowers will work. Quick update. Stay tuned. Everything's looking good. There's a couple of little spots. It seems like everything I'm doing is like a new idea. For the most part, I did pretty good. There's another spot right here, but I will definitely fix that. But I think I did pretty good covering it up. Really, it should have been painted without this brick here, but again, my silliness, I put this walkway on the board to dry, and not thinking that hey, this might fuse to the board and you can't get it off. So note to self, don't do that again. And to all of you viewers out there, paint all this separately. It'll save some time and hassle for sure. Okay, I will return. Okay, I finished the walkway. I think it looks pretty good. So what I used, let me turn it around, is the Waverly Antique wax. And what I did was I just dabbed in between the lines in some areas, and then just wiped it off. In other areas I left it on the top just to give it some highs and lows in the color, so it looks like that old aged look. And then I did the edges as well. Now I forgot to mention that I did do the edge around the board. If I can pick it up. So most of it I do see. Okay, so now I added my trees. Right here, so I'll fix that. You can see I made like little. So it looks really good now. To put my planter on, and then I just hot glued it to the board. And this is, I believe I showed this in earlier, but I'll just say it again. This is a button, and this is a glass jar. Little trees to the board. I don't know, glass. Yeah, a little jar that came from the Dollar Tree, and I just painted it with the burnt umber. And then the saucer part, I used the same color as I used for my bricks here, which was a little bit of orange, yellow, and burnt umber. So I put my trees in, so they're looking good, and my carrots are done. But you see I have this hole here from where I took the clips of the houses off, the little clips that I almost forgot. I made this cute little sign. This is Miss bunnies.
All right. Walkway is
And
in.
this little sign came
What do you
from
think?
the dollar store.
I'm thinking that grass
the
is a
Dollar
little-
Tree, and these little
needs some
letters I had.
I
and
painted it well
you noticed
last
I
night,
didn't
but
have
I
the
thought it would be
letter I,
nice
so
to
I
put
just
more.
used
And,
a T,
no,
and
less
then
is
with
more.
the
I
Dollar Tree
didn't turn out.
Pepper
So
paint,
we're
pepper
going
paint.
to
I just turned the T
add
into an
some
I.
of these cute
So,
little spring
Doesn't
flowers.
look that great, but you know, it was Miss Bunny who did it. It wasn't me. So I'm gonna add this to my board as well. Well, here's my completed makeover of my Dollar Tree house. I have it on a little Lazy Susan just so I can turn it and see all the different cute little areas. So